Dragon invasion. The sky was darkening by the minute, a fiery hue stretching across the horizon. The village of Eldor stood at the foot of the Mountain of Mists, a place of legend and mystery. The people had long heard the stories of dragons, massive winged beasts that once ruled the skies. But those stories were only whispers now, passed down through generations like fairy tales. Until one evening, everything changed. It began with a low rumble, almost like thunder, but deeper. The ground trembled as if it had a heartbeat of its own. At first, the villagers thought it was just another storm brewing, but then the skies crackled with an unnatural energy. A scream, high and shrill, echoed from the mountain's peak. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't a bird. It was something much more terrifying. Cleo, a young blacksmith's daughter, stood at the village square, her heart pounding. She had heard the rumors. Ancient texts spoke of the dragon's return, that one day they would rise from their long slumber to reclaim the lands. But Cleo had always dismissed the idea as fantasy. Now, as a shadow passed overhead, darkening the ground beneath her feet, she knew the truth. A great dragon, its scales gleaming like molten gold, swooped down from the mountain, its wings beating with a force that sent gusts of wind tearing through the trees. Its eyes were fierce, glowing with an intelligence that sent shivers through Cleo's spine. Behind it, more dragons emerged, each one a majestic and terrifying sight. Some had crimson scales that shimmered in the fading light, while others were dark and shadowy, blending into the clouds above. The villagers ran in panic, scrambling for shelter. But Cleo stood frozen, watching in awe and terror. She had heard that dragons were creatures of destruction, capable of razing cities and turning forests to ash. Yet as they landed with a thunderous roar, Cleo noticed something strange. The dragons didn't seem to be attacking. Instead, they were communicating. A younger dragon, smaller but no less fearsome, turned its head toward her, its voice rumbling deep within her chest. "Human," it said, its voice rich and resonant, "we have come for the Heartstone." The Heartstone. Cleo's mind raced. It was an ancient relic, said to possess the power to control the forces of nature itself. The village had kept it hidden for centuries, but no one knew why. No one until now. The dragon lowered its head, gazing at her with piercing eyes. "We have waited long enough," it said. "Return it to us, or the skies will burn." Cleo's breath caught in her throat. The Heartstone was kept in the village temple, guarded by elders and mystics. It was never meant to fall into the hands of any one creature, but the dragon's demand was clear. There was no room for negotiation. As the villagers gathered at the temple, Cleo knew what had to be done. She was the only one who had ever ventured deep enough into the temple's labyrinthine halls to know where the Heartstone lay. But would she be willing to give it up to these ancient, powerful creatures? With a heavy heart, Cleo made her decision. She would find the Heartstone. But whether it would save her people or doom them, she couldn't yet say. The dragons waited, their eyes glowing with an ominous promise. The future of Eldor hung in the balance.